Here we go, video. Semi-lovely day, Oh, excuse me. Bit of a headache though. Too many cigarettes at once, but price you pay. Anyway, I really am, out of control when it comes to smoking. It's funny, I say don't do it, and I do it anyway. It's just, the mechanism takes over, and even though the intellect says something, the feeling says something else, and the feelings win. Sadly, to my own discredit. But anyway, that's a separate, sort of connected subject. Anyway, the Modern Mystic made a very nice video. I was doing composting, and I like, he does things well. Everything he does tries to do a good job of it, and I really do appreciate that about him. So he did kind of a good job of it. It's not a walk and talk video, but it's a do stuff and talk video, and very good. And the connection, the metaphorical connections between the idea of composting and disposing of bullshit. I kind of like that idea. Anyway, he layered the argument very well to allow the bacteria of logic to annihilate the crap into something useful. And the crap is to be serious and mad. So it's all to my advantage in a way. I'm sure he could have critiqued me too, but he sort of ran out of compost. But anyway, but just the angle he used in terms of describing the circumstance, I just thought was interesting. It was just a nice deconstruction. It didn't surprise me. It just, it's not like we haven't had this conversation before. To be serious is just a petty lunatic, and Matt is a tragic waste. So, there we are. We're stuck there. It's not going to change. These are facts that will be durable throughout all time. Just, it is what it is, as they say. You can just do like some kind of predictive analysis, and you could say, what if Albert Einstein became a rabbi? Well, it probably wouldn't matter because, right, Albert Einstein didn't really do anything superhuman, right? I mean, he didn't do something we wouldn't have figured out eventually anyway. I mean, it seems kind of, and so that's sort of another irony, I suppose. It's just, Einstein is known for being like the most brilliant man on Earth, and in all time of human history. And yes, some of the stuff isn't exactly, they're descriptions of reality that are quite accessible to the average human. They're not, outside of reasonable hypothesizing. The fact that matter is made of energy. And Einstein didn't even say it that literally. He basically was saying something more, matter is a reconfiguration of energy, maybe. Where I might say it even more literally, that matter is energy. It's factually energy, just trapped. It's still energy. It's still exactly what it was when it went in. It's just held in a holding pattern around, and it's possessed by the mechanism as a property. And now the mechanism has what's called matter. It fits in the category of being matter merely because it's energy trapped. But anyway, I don't want to get into a physics video. I didn't bring my lighter. Should have thought of that. The old cigarette went out dilemma. Yeah, I'll save it for later. I really shouldn't, but I only have 2 left, so I better save every little bit. Anyway, I'll use those last little huffs. Anyway, see, now I just distracted my brain. No more cigarettes. Oh, that's depressing. I want to go home. Anyway, yeah, that's my feeling. Anyway, so yeah, back to the conversation. About what it means to say we don't have a definitive truth or a definitive fact, and of course, it's always got to be applied to some standard of justifiable confidence. Baby makers. Baby makers. God damn, it's getting tricky getting across there. This is really kind of not pleasant. Treacherous even. Anyway, so yeah, this. So I mean, it's the mystic probably. I don't know if he saw my what the fuck before he made his video. Probably not. But anyway, either way, there's a theme in there of just yes, you have to concede to this point. That you can't run it like a videotape, and even if you ran it like a videotape, history, you wouldn't be sure the videotape hadn't been tampered with. So there's no perfect evidence, and that's all you're really saying. There's no evidence that you can hold up to be unindelible or whatever, endurable to all challenge. All challenge. Yes, ludicrous can challenge it. It can't win logically, but it can challenge it. And if you concede that somehow ludicrous counter theory is legitimate, well, yeah, then you can't close the door. But the simple way to close the door is just to say ludicrous counter argument isn't valid. And now you can close the door. Now you can have conclusion. And, the mystic was saying it, but sort of a long way around, is that what To Be Serious is doing here is she's basically making everything she says ludicrous. Okay. Oh, crud. Yeah, I forgot to delete the evil hero video. So I ran out of memory, and so I don't know where it cut off. But anyway, I was just sort of getting to the point that To Be Serious is hoisting herself on her own petard, in terms of you can't make claims about anything if you're going to deny somebody else the same right to make a claim by saying claims are infinitely challengeable or have, by ludicrous. So just back to this, what is the rational standard for conviction in the trial of, human, you have to act. You have to make a decision what path to take, which fork in the road. And one of them has to be chosen. But you're going to choose based on the preponderance of the evidence, based on the best effort to reason out which one maximizes whatever the goal is. So once you establish some kind of sensible goal, all the questions become answerable in terms of preferences. And, certainly you can face situations where, you're between a rock and a hard place, where you're not given enough evidence to make a decision. But again, that's not the context of this conversation. The context is she wishes to disengage science from any serious conversation about reality and say science can only have authority when it comes to conveniences and things of no importance. The trivial. So trivial decisions can be made scientifically, but nothing non-trivial can be, because science is somehow always suspect and always held to some standard of hers, which is all facts are broken, which that is the lie. Saying that you complete confidence, absolute confidence, or not confidence is the wrong word to use, absolute evidence is unattainable is a fair thing to say. It's completely unfair to say all facts will change. That's ludicrous. All stated facts will, because of some historical pattern, be proven wrong. That hasn't happened. That's not the historical pattern. The historical pattern is, we learn how gravity works. The historical pattern is we learn that water's wet and that weather makes it rain. And we learn all kinds of pretty flower. We learn all kinds of things, and they remain permanent facts. Most of them. And it's only a few facts that have to be re-engineered over time. And some of them are very important facts, like the existence of God. Right, that one's had to be re-engineered. Astrology. Those kinds of mumbo-jumbos were preposterously silly predictions. Preposterously silly conclusions. And obviously they haven't survived because they were silly in their origin. They were made of no evidence. They were made of speculation. So clearly, speculative theory isn't going to have much durability. But well-practiced theory is going to likely have substantial durability. So, on the scale, we're going to make the measure. And as the mystic points out, it's irrelevant to look beyond the scale, because we have to have it. We will have to decide which road to take. And we're never going to be provided absolute assurances. So we can only go with our best guess. And the best guess with current evidence is that we are fish. And you can't win this game. A stranger cutting branches off of trees on farmland, which is, I guess they're afraid it might fall on the tractor. I think it's sort of make work. It's the rich people making jobs for people. You'll go mow the grass that's never seen and trim the trees that are in the void of irrelevancy. Because I'm rich. That's what I do with my money. Anyway. What was that? It's not really a practical conversation to have about the limitations of this system, because it's the only thing we got. There's no way you can escape having to go by the preponderance of the evidence and the existence of a reasonable counter-argument. She doesn't have a rational or reasonable counter-theory, and therefore she's just, in a petty manner, trying to break all rational conclusion drawing, all rational decision making. Again, that's a game you can't win, because the minute you do that, then everything you care about is now void. Now you can't make any arguments in defense of anything, because you're subject to the same critique. So it's just the folly of this reckless and sloppy, hysterical, emotional philosophy that is apparently something that humankind can't escape, and such. little exercise. At least there's some hope here. Yeah, got some. Oh, that rock just looks like it wants to eat you up. So this one looks somewhat stable. Yeah, almost. It was a trick. Ew, dead stuff and dead worm. That's much clearer water now. It does have that scuzzy, foamy crap in it. Ew. Ew. Yeah. Ew. 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 Yeah. I'm done having fun. So, off to work I go. Hi-ho, hi-ho. Yeah. I think that's a conclusion. So anyways, like this video was just very rambly and not very tidy. He said the mystics analysis was very tidy. I mean, a little bit obnoxious and rude, but just so well done that you say, yeah, it's okay. It's an acceptable amount of rudeness. So, yeah, good show and such. Until the next time.